Day 21. I've been in Monterey and just taking some time to clarify in myself, just to connect with myself, just to get connected to myself. I've been out here and it's been a very incredible, quiet, calming place. And what's so amazing is how many decisions take care of themselves after I connect with myself. In other words, a lot of times we think I got to figure out what to do, but you're in a state that can't figure out the right decisions sometimes. If you're stressed and you're trying to figure out what to do, you're in a place where you actually aren't able to find the answer because you're in pain. So sometimes people in a lot of pain or a lot of stress might go, what do I do? And then, okay, I'll do this thing. And you're fixing a problem. But the first thing we got to do is get to a place where it's not a problem anymore. Not because we fixed it, but because you identify that the pain that's in you is actually an illusion. I really believe more and more and more that almost all emotional pain is a total illusion that we are choosing to sit in, that we're choosing to get into, that exists if we just keep not being aware that we can connect to what we really are. If instead we're in a place of always trying to find the solution, we're implying there's a problem. And the more we try to find a solution to our problem, the more we actually have a problem. In other words, if I was like, what are we going to do about this golden monster in front of me? And everyone's like, what are you talking about? But if I really kept saying it, the golden monster, there's a golden monster in here. We have to do is eventually you'd start convincing people there's a golden monster. It's the stupidest analogy. But it only exists because you're looking for the solution for it. And almost everything that we feel is a belief or a thought that we haven't checked. Is this even true? Oh, no one's going to like me. Where is that coming from? Is that even true? This thought's coming up in your mind and you're sitting here just already responding to it. Well, by responding to it, you're strengthening it, even if you can come up with the best solution. And this is what our minds do. It comes up with the problem and then it finds the solution to the problem it came up with versus actually taking a second and realizing there's no problem. And there's many reasons why we do this, but one of the reasons we do this is because we're scared to move beyond what we think the story of what we are is. We think that who we are is this past story. We are under this horrible illusion that who we are is our past, and often our past could include massive abuse. Our past could include, getting screamed at or abandoned or all this stuff. And we start to actually go, I need to find people in my life that will scream at me and abandon me so that I don't have to die, because we think who we are will die if we let go of that. So sometimes we have decisions to make where you could be with a new person or hang out with some new friends that actually expand your heart, but they might be scary to you if you're used to being abandoned or abused or yelled at your whole life. So you might actually cut yourself off from someone that could help you access your heart. And because your soul is what you want to feel, but when you're in your ego, you're doing everything you can to do whatever makes you think that you'll stay there, because you think that your identity is this past story. So when you meditate, when you go away, when you go on a trip and just listen to the ocean for a while, when you sit in nature for a while, and you don't necessarily act like the problem is something that you need to fix. When the problem comes up, instead of trying to fix it, instead of trying to run from it, just realize what's going on is an old story is coming up. And it's going, I gotta be around someone, I gotta drink, I gotta smoke, I gotta, be around someone who treats me like crap or whatever. I have to do this. Well, what's really going on is the thought is coming up, a thing. And you can sit here in that moment and go, I know that it would feel good and keep the old story alive in my head to go do that. But maybe not doing it will help me step into something bigger. So with every decision you have to make, you can feel if you will feel it in your body and expand, or if you will feel it in your head and contract. If it's something that makes you feel you'll get that high, but you at the later will just be in the same place. That's a contracting feeling. Does it shrink me? There's people in my life that have been in my life in the past, and sometimes I find being with them can shrink me, right? And then there's some people that I go, wow, this person's just giving me unconditional love. This person wants to take care of me. This person respects me. Well, sometimes that's scary because we go, well, I don't know if I'm worthy of that. I don't know that I'm allowed to feel that, because we think the old story of us thinks that who we are is someone who can't receive that level of love. So we often actually search for people who won't give us love to match the story, because it would be death to the story of who we were to receive love on a new level, to receive love in our body in a totally different way. So I love to go to Monterey because it's this getaway that has trees and woods and the beach and all this stuff. And I find that when I'm there for about 3 days, by day 3, I just start to feel so connected to myself. And weirdly, a lot of addictions go away. Like 4 days ago when I was in LA, I felt more addictive than I do now. I felt more like, having a bunch of lattes or having whatever. It's not a ton, but I just don't feel any of that even existing now. The more I get in my heart, the more that I care about my body, and the more I care about my body, the less any feeling of addiction feels. In fact, it feels so foreign to me now to do anything in that way. So when you feel a problem and you feel something's wrong, what the real challenge might be is you have a belief that you have a problem and you're trying to come up with a solution. So you can tell if you're that way, if you're just looking around and you're trying to figure out what to do about something. You're there if you're saying, what do I do about, you're already implying there's an about, right? You're already implying there's a problem. How do I and what do I do are both two questions that imply you don't have guidance to actually take care of you step by step. You're looking linearly in the future, and there's an I that is separated that has to take an action to fix a problem. So anytime you're asking, what do I do, or how do I first, you're already separating yourself more and more and more. How do I overcome this problem? Now, that doesn't mean don't have a how sometimes. Sometimes your heart will go, for instance, my heart earlier this week said, let's do an 18,000 seat theater. Now, what's weird is when you're excited enough, the hows will show up. Like I'm sitting here in this space and all these hows are showing up. I go, I want to do an 18,000 seat theater. So it's like, oh, make a sketch about this. Okay, call this, new, and I'm so excited that the hows take care of themselves. But if you're in a position where you're going, I feel stifled, and you go, how do I fix that stifling? And you're in that search mode, you'll never fix it, ever. Camera cut off again. So the real solution, instead of trying to fix something with a how, is to feel that feeling that tells you the next thing to do in your body that's really exciting, really scary, or really calming. So it might be like, if you don't know what to do, this is a famous quote, if you don't know what to do, do nothing. Or maybe it is go away for a week. Or maybe it is just wait. Or maybe it is just let go of something that is a fixing. Whatever it is. But you have no problems. I know you think you have problems. I understand when you go, yeah, you don't know my life. I get it. Maybe you don't have problems because you're blah, blah, blah. In your head, you don't have problems. And if you move from a place where these problems aren't here, then you will bring constant solutions to your own life. If you go, yeah, I don't have problems, I'm $100,000 in debt, or I'm in this shitty situation or whatever, right? You're in a place of fight or flight in your head. And so you're in a how, and you're unable to connect to a part of you that can actually give you kind of magical guidance solutions that are in us when we live here. So I understand that we all have our challenges. I understand those things are happening, but those challenges are all actually happening outside, and our resistance to those challenges are inside. So more and more you can get to a place where you connect with yourself in almost any situation, unless it's actual fight or flight. That's different. Actual one. Like if there's a bear in front of you, get the hell out of there. But that's what fight or flight was for. Just those few moments, not some giant stressful life where you constantly ignore your calling and your body and everything because you think you got to pay a bill. As you listen to your heart, those things take care of themselves. So I feel great. Day 21.